What's going on, everyone? Sneaky Mofo here. Today we're going to hack 1001 spikes. This is the start of a new series I'm going to do where I'm basically running through my Steam catalog. I have over 500 games and I haven't played like a fraction of those. So I've decided what I'm going to do is kind of start at the top of the list and work my way down and do a Let's Hack series. And what I'm going to do is provide the cheat table, which you look in the description below. If all you want is the cheats, there you go. And then I'm going to kind of cover how the cheat works really quickly for those of you who just want to utilize the cheats. And then after that, I'm going to go into some tutorial related stuff, do sort of a post-mortem of what I have done with any particular game. So yeah, just going to go ahead and jump right in here. Got the game open here, open on a certain stage, and the cheats that I have are over here. Infinite lives, when you enable that, if you die, you don't lose any lives. That's how that one works. Infinite jump is a pretty cool one. That lets you jump as many times as you want. So I'm going to die, and let's see. You see that I didn't lose a life. I'm just going to jump to this one really quick. Disable level mechanics. So if you hit F2, watch everything on the screen here. Out of here. Everything gone. So, but that pauses everything. So because I hit F2 like quickly, it disabled as well because I have F1 and F2 set to toggle. So if you hit F1, by the way, this key, you don't have to actually get the key in the level. You give yourself the key. So, watch your table over here. If you see the X there when you hit F1, then you want to hit it again because things can get kind of screwy if you keep that key thing enabled. Like if you go to get a gold skull or something like that, it acts funky. So, there's that. So, infinite jump, now I can show that. You just hit jump, 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 jump. And it works with both S and D. So you can literally jump your way over stuff through the levels and have a good old time. That's that. Next thing, instant max skulls and big coins. Like if I were to get the skull right here, I already have it, but if I were to get it, well, let's say you're back on the first 1-1 in this world here. You could enable that and get the skull, and as soon as you beat the level, it'll take your skulls to max. And coins, too. So, regardless of which one you get, it's going to take them both to max. Next thing, max regular coins. I have no idea what these are used for, but if you enable this, the first time you get a big coin, whenever it actually adds coins, these other regular coins, this will take it to max, or I've got the base address for those coins, so you can manually set that number yourself if you want. Last thing is the timer. You see the speed run timer here is counting away. If you check this, it's just going to keep it at 0.02, I guess milliseconds is what that is. So you can't do all zeros because the game ties movement and some other things to the timer. So if you have zeros set there, you can't jump, and there's some other things you can't do. So anyway, that's pretty much that. And then you can also just lock, I've got the base address for time here as well. So you can lock that to a specific time if you want, for whatever reason. Alright, so that's pretty much how that works. So for those of you who just want to cheat, go have a field day. Link in the description below, go download it. For those of you who want to stick around for the tutorial, now what we're going to do is, well, first off, infinite lives. We're going to start with this one. It's a 4-byte scan, very simple, very, very simple. One thing I haven't really covered much of in my videos is the difference between an AOB scan and then just doing code injection. So with code injection, you need enable, disable sections, but you can just tell Cheat Engine, go to this location and do this. That's it. You don't have to do an AOB scan and let Cheat Engine scan for that array of bytes, waiting for that to enable. You can just say, go to the whatever the base address for the game is, plus this offset, go to that point and do this. right? So with this one, basically I'm knopping. We can see that from all 9 zeros here. I'm knopping whatever instruction this is. It was probably a move instruction or a sub instruction. Whichever one it is, I got rid of it. Okay, so the address that it's at, I'm going to copy that, go to memory view here, go to address, paste. All right, here we go. It's a call. One call, that's all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bytes. Yep, okay. So I just knopped that call out. All right. And this is where if a game updates, right, then these locations can change over here. And that's why an array of byte scan has benefits over referencing just the address, because the instruction might be the same. You know, the array of bytes you have here, this is for the instruction itself. That's what the array of bytes references. But as long as this stays the same, you can just tell it, go here and do what I want you to do. And this game is old-ish, so unless they update it sometime, which I don't necessarily see happening, then really quick and easy to just do a cheat table like that. Alright, so that's that. Infinite jump. This one was interesting because, let's see, okay, I'm just going to go back to world map. I'm going to go to the first one here. Okay, this is like the first level. Okay, so what I did for this is changed and unchanged value scans. So what I'm going to do is, was it 4 bytes? Yeah, I'll just keep it 4 bytes. Unknown initial value, first scan. Alright, now I'm going to jump. Which one is jump? Those are jump. Alright, so I'm going to say unchanged for now. And that's going to take a second over here. Anyway, so while that's doing that, basically, was it doing it? There we go. Okay. I just needed to actually hit buttons, I guess. Alright, so I'm going to do changed and unchanged here. So jump, changed, changed, jump. Let's see. Jump, changed, changed, unchanged, changed, changed. Alright, so we're getting there. Alright, so we're whittling our results down pretty nicely here. Now, one of these is going to be related to jumping. Alright, so with this one it was a good bit of trial and error, trying to figure out. See, because now, you know, you start building up on what you understand about games. However many types of games you've hacked and how one game decides to handle jumping versus another game. Some games are like, you know, checking an address for a value. If it's 0 or if it's 1, allow the player to jump or not jump. Stuff like that. So you kind of understand, okay, I want to kind of be looking for maybe this kind of mechanic or that kind of mechanic. So it helps you to start learning some of that stuff so that you can take some of these addresses once you get down to a low number like this and, you know, start looking for certain things. So I'm going to throw this one address down here, and I'm just going to say find what writes to this address. Bring that over here. Alright, now I'm going to jump, and that didn't change anything. That's not the one. So let's try this one. See what writes to this address. Okay, that's not the one, but it's close. I'll show you why I say it's close. It was one of these first 3, I believe. Find what writes to this address. Alright, that's not it. Maybe it's this one. Find what writes to this address. Yes, it is this one. Yep, okay, this is the one. So, alright. This one's interesting, alright, so you have these 2 things that are just constantly writing to this address, right here. Okay. All right. So basically, these two that popped up later, okay, the way the game works is you have D to do like a single jump. So if I want to jump up on this one square here, I hit D just to jump not all that high. To do like a double block jump, you hit S. That's a higher jump. All right, so for each of these types of jumps have their own instruction here. All right, so it's not just you find jump, you do whatever code injection with it, and you're all set. Nope. So you have to do something with all 4 of these instructions. All right. So basically at the end of all the stuff that I was doing, this increment that's constantly running, I ended up knopping it. So getting rid of it entirely. Then with this one, I changed it to, let's go to show disassembler. All right. And see how this is moving 5 into this address? Well, I would move 1 into there instead of 5. So why did I choose 1? I can't tell you. I can't remember at the moment. But I probably tried 0 and 1 just for that typically being values I would try related to, can the player jump right now, yes or no, 0 or 1, you know. And then with these two, I did the same thing. You know, when you press D or when you press S, write 1 to this address instead of 5. So, you know, these two are global. They happen for just jumping as a mechanic. These two are specific to your character that you have. So you see up here this character select. All right, I unlocked this character and noticed the jump cheat wasn't working. So I was like, oh man. So basically you can do an AOB scan. Let's see, which one? Was it this one? Show disassembler? Yeah. So if you do an AOB scan for this, for these bytes, plus that, this one, and this one, you will find the same array of bytes in all of these places. And they represent each of these characters, including the ones that I don't have unlocked right now. So I just went ahead and found all those places and put the same cheat. So when the user enables the cheat, it's transparent to them. They don't know. It's just the jumping mechanic works, you know? So that's the infinite jump thing. All right, InstaKey. That one, I had a chance to use create thread, which I've been learning lately. Got to give shout outs to Parkour Penguin over on the Cheat Engine forum. He's been giving me a lot of that good old knowledge lately, and because of some of the stuff that he's done helping me out lately, I finally get the create thread thing and all that. So, you know, still more to learn, but anyway. All right, so what create thread does, this part of the script basically, if I enable this, it will just keep running until I disable it. So if you were to have a memory address that you wanted a value to keep being written to automatically, that's what you end up using create thread for. So what I wanted to do is make it to where the user could just hit F1 and bam, they have this key. And you know, you couldn't just put the value into the memory address. That wouldn't work. You have to keep having it write that. So we do a global alloc, give me that key main, and then 256 bytes, which is more than enough for what we want to do here. We create the thread, create label, register symbol, and then once you get to this point here, I move 1, which is, you know, okay, you have the key now into this spot here. All right, this push 1000, this pushes 1000 milliseconds or 1 second onto the stack, and then it calls the function sleep, which makes this rest for 1 second before it runs again. And then after that sleep there, it does a compare. And it says, is the value in exit thread 1? If it's not, then go back to here and just keep doing that. Otherwise, return. So this has to do with cleaning up the stack and more advanced stuff. So I'm not going to try to get too far into it right now because I'm still doing heavy doses of learning. But basically, when you go to disable the script, 1 is put into exit thread, which this will run, and then it will see exit thread is not equal to 1, so then it will return and do that whole deal. So anyway, I'm going to do like a tutorial specifically focused on this later, because I really don't understand it enough to be teaching you every little specific thing about it, and I hate trying to go over stuff if I don't feel like I understand it enough. So hopefully I didn't just completely confuse you with this. I'll put a link to another video down below of a guy named Pinpoint who does tutorials on Sethios' YouTube channel. He did one on Create Thread recently with a script of his too, so that one might have some more information for you. Anyway, so that's that. The next thing here with this disable level mechanics, this one was interesting. So I was trying to find my way to not die when you get hit by things, but there's a shared instruction that writes to so many different addresses that I was having a bear of a time getting it to work. But I found my way to this one address plus offset that basically disables everything in the level. So enemies, projectiles, blocks, it disables it all. The only things it didn't disable were spike traps when you walk over them. Those would still happen. The spike traps that are timed to come out of the wall or whatever, those would still happen. And I guess there were certain types of projectiles that this didn't work for. So anyway, I basically ended up provisioning for all these scenarios in a level that can happen. And a lot of these, well, I think every single one of, well, except for this one, these were conditional jumps. So I just changed them to always jump. And that did what I wanted it to do. With this instruction, I just nix it. So, and you know, with any of these, like you saw earlier, if you want to see what it is, you can just copy it, go to memory view, right click, go to address, and see what it is, right? So, yeah. So I'm going to close that, and let's see with this instant max skulls, big coins. All right, these were essentially, I think, the exact same, so different places in memory, one for the skulls, one for the coins, and I just have it write a specific value into whatever address is there for each of these. So you can't do like an AOB scan. I think I would need Lua to say like, okay, here's this AOB, but it exists in multiple places. And for every place that it does exist, I want you to write the same value in the same place. So until I learn Lua enough to learn how to do some shit like that, I basically just have the place that I want it to do that with in these two spots and then tell it to do it. So that's that one. Max regular coins, kind of the same thing. You get the clue of what's going on here. With this one, well, that's the base address. With the timer, that one was easy. Let's see. Oh, I was off there. Let me delete that one. With the timer, I ended up doing an AOB scan for that one so that I could just kill the functionality of the timer. And let's see. Yeah, I ended up doing AOB scan because, you know, if you want to do just a regular code injection, you know, like for this one here, yeah, this will be a good example to show you. I'm going to copy, keep that open, memory view, go to address, paste that. Okay, now here, 83E107, right? We start, so disable takes it back to its original state. This is its original state because we don't have it enabled right now. So you see up to a certain, okay, up to this point, up to the 0, 1. So the first 5 bytes of this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it's the same. But then I change it here. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, these are the same. Then start with this. I just totally change up these instructions right here. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 bytes to work with because I don't want these instructions to happen. I want whatever I'm doing to happen instead, right? So I'm just overwriting these bytes completely with what I want there. So close this, I'll enable it, and you see how it changes here. Changes to this, and then I have a NOP for the final byte so that they're not off, right? And so once again, that's quicker. That's telling Cheat Engine, go here, do this. Just do it as soon as you enable. This one, do the AOB scan. I didn't have enough bytes here in this spot, so let me go new scan, array of byte, paste. All right, disassemble this region. Okay, so this ink here, I tried playing around with it, couldn't really get what I wanted. I didn't want to mess with this move, I didn't want to mess with this call. So since I wanted to do, since this, what I wanted to do here would have been more bytes than I had to play around with here, I did an AOB so that I could just have this jump to do this. All right, so that's, now I'm trying to work with the bytes that I have there and do a code injection with that if I think the game isn't necessarily going to be updated, you know, so for speed's sake. But anyway, so that's pretty much it. Yeah, I guess the next video that I'll do will probably be centered around create thread because I really want to dive into that. I want to understand it more, and I want to help everyone else understand that as well. It's very, very convenient. It really opens you up to a lot of different options that you don't think you have. So anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next video. Take care.